Hey guys, welcome to the 2024 shop tour. I've been in the shop now for a few years. I'm going to make some major changes. I'm going to have a brand new monitor station set up. I'm putting in 2 more dust extraction systems so I can make this shop dust free. So come on a shop tour and I'll show you exactly what I'm going to get up to in the next couple of videos. It's going to be epic, guys. It's going to be epic. The last video of 2023, and I've decided I'm going to make a New Year's resolution. I'm going to get my shop dust free. You believe that? Me? I'm going to get it dust free? Well, I'm going to try anyway. I'm going to put in 2 new dust extraction systems. I've already got 2. They'll make 4 dust extraction systems. And we're going to do a lot of other things. I'm going to totally rebuild my monitor station. I'm going to make some guard for the sliding table saw. So there's a lot to do, guys. So we're going to start at the beginning. And I'll show you around the shop first. And then we'll discuss how I'm going to do all of this. It's going to be mammoth, guys. It's going to be mammoth. So let's go. This is my 6-foot sliding table saw. This is the heart of my shop. I love it. It's the best machine I ever bought. So I do all my work here. But as you see, it hasn't got an overhead guard. This is the overhead guard that came with it. And it's not very good. It's got a very small port there for dust. And it's supposed to fit on the back of the riving knife, I think, like that. I'm going to do something completely different. I'm going to make an overhead guard with dust extraction to the monitor saw dust deputy. And I'm going to do it with this. This is a flexible camera mount. So I'm going to make an overhead guard that sits up there out of perspex and timber. It just folds up out of the way when I don't need it. And can be lowered as I need it. And just fold up out of the way. I can do my grooving and I can use the guard and it'll have dust extraction on it. I've never seen it done on YouTube before, so I'm going to make it out of this camera arm hanging from the ceiling. Should be fun, guys. So let's see the rest of the shop now, guys. We'll start at the machine shop over in the corner. This is part of my machine shop. I'll go through the tools now and we'll take them one at a time and I'll show you what I'm going to do to fix them up. The first machine we're going to look at is a double drum sander. I really like the machine, but it doesn't collect all the dust that I needed to collect. The dust extractor works well. The metal grate inside the flues and all the sawdust seems to congeal in there and so it doesn't get enough suction. On my other sander, it was the same and I took it out and it worked 500% better. So that's one of the first things I'm going to do is to take out the metal grate from inside the sander. Look at the dust on that, guys. It's just all clogged up there. The second machine I'm going to show you is my portable DeWalt battery operated saw. Great machine when you're working outside when you haven't got any power. But it does spit out a lot of dust. It's only got about 1.5 inch port, so that's why I'm going to use the ignited dust deputy and chop backs for these little tools. Keep the dust under control. So I'm going to use the big dust extractor for the big tools and 2 chop backs with the dust deputies on top for the smaller tools. So we'll see how we go. So there'll be 4 different systems. I have the big system that does all the big tools. And I've got another sander in the corner over there that's got its own dust extraction. And I'll have the 2 chop backs with the dust deputies. I've got to do it, guys. This is another saw that needs dust extraction. It's got my 1/2 inch dado head permanently set up in it. It also needs to be on a platform so I can wheel it in and out. But they're going to put the dust extraction at the back. It does spit out a lot of dust. It's got a bag at the moment, but the bag gets full very quick. So how it works. I don't use this very often. So I just want the dust extractor with the dust deputy on the back. That's only got a 2-inch outlet too. So I have the portable saw and this saw together in the one dust deputy with another line going all the way over the shop to the drill press I'm going to relocate in the other corner. So there's a lot to do, guys. I've got to do things one thing at a time. And then I got to clean up everything. After I got everything installed and everything working well, then I'll give the shop a thorough clean out. The next machine is a mini lathe. I don't use it very often. I've only used it a couple of times, but boy am I going to start to use it. I'm going to start turning pens, guys. I'm going to take you on a journey, exactly how I'm going to set everything up to turn a pen. This is the first pen I ever turned. I turned it yesterday over my mate Chris from Built with Chris from his shop, and it was a magical thing, guys. It was fantastic. I didn't know it can be so enjoyable. And he's got a great setup over there. Check his channel out, Built by Chris. And I'm going to put a whole setup up above the lathe here for all my pen blanks. So that's going to be an epic video too, guys. So I'll take you on a journey how I start to turn pens. It's pretty easy, guys. You'll love it. All right, let's move on. The next machine I've got is an 80 watt laser machine. Very powerful. I love it. It's got a 500 by 700 bed in it, and it works great. Lid that goes up and down and run by a laptop over there, guys. It's really good. I use this machine a lot. And lasering the name in the T-box first. And there it goes into the lids. But it's got its own smoke extractor system, which I stick at the door. A 6-inch pipe runs all the way along the ground there, and I put it out the door when I'm using the machine, so this works well. So actually I'm going to have not 4 dust extractions, I'm going to have 5 different extraction systems in the shed. It's got to work, guys, doesn't it? I hope. This is my planer thicknesser, 12 inches wide with a helical head. Listen to how quiet this is. That's great, isn't it? It works so well. It's a great machine, but I found it a bit difficult lifting the tables up and down every time I wanted to use the thicknesser. So I bought the other thicknesser. So now I use it as a buzzer, and it's so good, guys. It's on wheels, so I can wheel it around if I have to, but it just works so well, guys. The helical heads are great. Helical heads are great. Let's move on. The next machine is my Leadercraft small bandsaw. It's not very good. It's only got guides at the top. It hasn't got guides underneath. So the blade wobbles everywhere. Good for cutting little bits, but if you're trying to cut scrolls or something, it's not very good at all. No. Let's move on, guys. This is my flat lencher, which is plumbed into the main 4-inch outlet. Very quiet, as you see. This is an overview of this corner of the shop. So you see how cramped I am with machines in here? But the garage is about 7.5 metres by 6 metres. Fairly big, but I've got a lot of stuff in here, guys. Everything's got to have a spot, and everything's got to work right. So let's move on to the miter saw station, guys. The miter saw station, it's a wreck at the moment. I keep all my offcuts there, which in some ways is good, because I can see what I've got, and when I'm making the boxes, if I need a little bit of wenge or a little bit of maple or something, I can find it. But it's out of control. I'm going to leave the whole bottom section. I got the compressor in the big box here. I got drawers on this side, and in the centre here, underneath the saw, that's where I'm going to put the shop vac. And I'm going to put the shop vac in a enclosed box with baffles, just because they're fairly noisy little things. So I'm just trying to cut the noise down a bit. So all the offcuts are going to go. I'm going to make a complete new section up here. I don't know what I'm going to put in it yet, but I'll work it out. It's going to look a lot better than what it is now. And I'll probably put a T-track in the bench here and on the other side. So I can put some stops in there so I don't have to cramp anything anymore. So it's going to be a fairly big project. We'll do that project as a video by itself. The other drill press is going to go on the other side of the wall there. I'm going to put the igniter and the dust box here. And the vacuum cleaner down here somewhere. A lot happening. But it's all going to be fun, guys. All going to be fun. So let's move on. This is my big bandsaw. It's got a 3300 millimetre blade in it. It works great with the big resaw fence on it. Works really good. This is the only spot I've got for it. I would have rather some more house feed room, but I got no room. It's only a garage. But I need to put another dust port in the bottom. It's got one, but I need to have another one set up too. So I'll be doing that too. And that's a great machine that's going to stay as it is. The next section is my first cabinet area. I've got all my screws and sandpaper and everything behind Perspex doors, so dust doesn't get in them. Down the bottom I've got drawers, so I don't have to bend down. Being 70 years old, I don't like bending down at all. So wherever I can, I put drawers at the bottom and cupboards up the top. Bit of a mess at the moment, but it's all going to be cleaned up. But this section works well too. And this bench down here is my glue up bench. It's just a bench that I do anything with. I glue on it, I screw on it, I cut on it. It's time for a new top for this bench. So we'll put it on there, and I got my veneers in drawers underneath the bench. So I try to use every bit of space I can, guys. Next machine is just a homemade horizontal boring machine. A cheap drill stand with a drill mounted in it, and I got a flat table so I can bore it down. It's really easy with that. It works bloody well, guys, really well. Homemade. And below it, guys, a veneer press. This is a 6-inch vertical lineature. I use this all the time. Whenever I'm sanding for handles, sanding anything on a curve, it's great. It really works well. And that's got its own dust extraction system there. This is my CNC machine. It's 24 inches, 14 inches I think. It's not a big one, but it works quite well. I'm not ready up on how to really work it at the moment. That's one thing I'm going to work on this year, to get the CNC up and running really good. The next machine I've got is a mortise machine. It works well. I don't use it that often, but I want to try to make some mortise doors this year, so I'm going to be using that a little bit this year. It's just a good little machine. Very quiet, as you see, and just works really well, really well. Okay guys, let's move on. Here's my pigeonhole wall with all my corded power tools in there. And they've all got their own pigeonhole, which is really good. I can just grab them as I want them. And the bottom shelf is going to be for all my AEG battery operated tools, which I'm going to take on site with me when I go on site, rather than the corded ones. So I'll make some pigeonholes for them too. So I'll get them organised. I call it the Beast. 16-inch Herle Head thicknesser. Great machine, guys, great machine. I use this all the time. With the buzzer and the thicknesser, two different machines, I can work so much quicker. If I use the thicknesser on the buzzer, I'd have to keep pushing the tables up and down, and they're separate tables and they take time, and I don't really like it. So I brought this, and this works bloody good. Again, quiet as, but here to go ahead, guys. Listen to that. Listen to that, not very loud at all. Works great, guys, works great. Let's move on. Here's my big dust extraction system, the 2 horsepower with a canister filter into a big cyclone and a collection bit at the bottom. This system works quite well, connected to 4-inch PVC pipe, and it works really well, guys. I just got to fix a couple of little holes in it here or there to sand and other things. This is the centre of my shop. This is where I do all my work. I've got my vise here. I use the air feed table as the bench. And I've got a spindle sander incorporated into the outfeed table, and also on the other corner there I've got the router incorporated into the outfeed table, and of course the big table saw. As you see, major change is going to happen to the shop in 2024. It's going to go dust free as far as I can get it anyway, but I'll still be making my boxes, my tea boxes and my jewellery boxes, which I really love. I'm also going to start turning some pens. So there's heaps going on in the shop this year. So come on and join me in all my videos, how I get the shop dust free and up and running the way that I want it and the way that you want it. Happy New Year, guys. And please follow and ring the bell. And we're going to have some fun this year in the shop, I hope. Let's do it. Let's have fun.